let's talk about the most powerful, most reliable engine on the entire planet. And the craziest part? You've already got one. Yep, it's beating inside your chest this very second. So let's dive in and take a closer look at this incredible machine, the human heart.
So what is it, really? Well, at its most basic, the heart is a pump, a really, really good one. Every single time it beats, it squeezes, it contracts, and forces blood all through your body, delivering all the good stuff like oxygen and nutrients and carrying away the waste. It's literally the engine that keeps the lights on. Okay, but here's where it gets mind-blowing. This isn't just a simple in-and-out pump. It's more like a magician. With every single beat, it's sending blood on two completely separate round trips at the exact same time. So how on earth does it pull that off? That's the big question we're going to answer. To figure out how it works, we've got to look at how it's built. Its architecture. Because the heart's function is all tied up in its brilliant design. So let's head inside. Think of the heart as a house with 4 rooms or chambers. Up top, you've got the 2 atria. These are like the receiving docks where blood arrives. And right below them, you have the 2 ventricles. Now, the really cool part is the design of their walls. The ventricles have these super thick, powerful muscles, and there's a good reason for that. They are the heavy lifters. They do the really hard work of pumping blood out of the heart. So with all that squeezing and pressure, how do you make sure the blood only goes one way? Simple. You install one-way doors. And that's exactly what the heart's valves are. They are engineered perfectly to snap shut the second the blood passes through, making it impossible for it to flow backward. It's a simple idea, but it is absolutely crucial. All right, so we've seen the layout. Now, let's get back to that magic trick I've mentioned. See, the secret is that your heart isn't really one pump. It's 2 pumps, brilliantly fused together, working in perfect, flawless harmony. This lays it out perfectly. The right side of your heart runs what's called the pulmonary circuit. It takes in all the used up, deoxygenated blood from the body and sends it on a quick trip next door to the lungs for a pit stop. Its only job is to get fresh oxygen. Then you have the left side, which runs the systemic circuit. It takes all that fresh, oxygen-rich blood and, with one enormous push, sends it out to every single part of your body. 2 different jobs, 2 different destinations, all in one amazing organ. And if the heart is the central station, these are the 4 major superhighways connected to it. The vena cava is the main on-ramp for all that deoxygenated blood coming back from the body. The pulmonary artery is the off-ramp to the lungs. Once the blood is full of oxygen again, it comes back on the pulmonary vein highway. And finally, the aorta. That's the biggest artery in your whole body. It's the grand central exit, sending that fresh blood absolutely everywhere. Okay, so we've learned the map, we know the main roads. Now let's do something really cool. Let's actually follow a single drop of blood on its complete trip to see how this whole thing comes together in one seamless loop. So our story starts right here, with one little drop of blood. It's just finished its delivery route. It dropped off oxygen to your muscles so you could move, to your brain so you could think. Now it's tired, it's out of oxygen, and it's heading back to headquarters for a recharge. And here's its journey. First, it flows into the right atrium and gets dropped down into the right ventricle. Then, bam, the right ventricle squeezes, shooting our blood drop out the pulmonary artery and straight to the lungs. In the lungs, it ditches the carbon dioxide and grabs a fresh tank of oxygen. Now it's bright red, re-energized, and it zips right back to the heart, this time entering the left atrium. From there, it's passed to the left ventricle, the powerhouse chamber, which contracts with incredible force, launching our drop of blood out the aorta to start its whole journey all over again. Now, that whole complicated trip we just walked through, that doesn't just happen once in a while. It happens over and over and over for your entire life without a single day off. The sheer endurance is just staggering. And that whole sequence, the filling up, the powerful squeeze, those 2 separate journeys, that all has a name. It's called the cardiac cycle. And get this, that entire perfect process happens in less than a second. It happens with every single beat of your heart. So how much work are we talking about? Well, your heart completes that perfect cycle about 100,000 times a day. Every day. No weekends, no holidays, no breaks. It is just an absolutely mind-boggling feat of biological engineering. So just think about that for a second. 100,000 times a day, this perfect 2-part ballet happens inside your chest without you ever having to think about it. It just works. Which leads to one last fascinating question. What's the invisible conductor that keeps this amazing engine in such perfect rhythm? Well, that's a story for another time.